So today's video is all about the Mini 5 Pro and Hyperlapse. Now let's get the drone up and let's get started. So when it comes to Hyperlapse on the Mini 5 Pro, there is only 4 options. There's static, where it'll basically be at a set place and it'll take the pictures and create a hyperlapse of that position there. You've got one that'll circle around an object or a subject, taking the pictures and create a hyperlapse like that. Or you've got an A to B point, so you can just fly it from one point to another point and get that hyperlapse there. Or you can do waypoints, so you can set it going at different points and have the gimbal rotating or going different degrees, or however you like it, different altitudes. But today I'm just going to try the static one. Now behind me there's the A19 and a train line. I'm not going to go near it, but I'm going to get high above so I can see all the traffic going, and I'm going to do a hyperlapse static and just to see exactly how it does. It'll probably be about 20-30 seconds video once it's done, but let's get the drone up and we'll start with option number 1. Right, okay, I'm going to get the drone up and I'm going to get it over near that A19 and near the train line. The train has just gone over, but hopefully we might be able to capture one. So I'm going to get it over and we'll figure out how to do the first hyperlapse. Now I have charged the battery straight away. Right, I'm going to put the gimbal down a little bit so I can see where I'm at. A little bit higher and over there. So I do have visual line of sight, I can see it. I'm just trying to get in a position where I can see the road. It's just over those trees now. So I'll bring it sideways a little bit, turn it a little bit. I want to try and get as much of the road as I can in so I can see all of that road. I'm keeping over those trees, I'm nowhere near the road itself. I'm going to back off a little bit. So you can see all of that there. I'll go over the trees a little bit more. Now I don't want to go too close, so if it does fall, it's just going to fall in the trees. Now when it comes to hyperlapse, I've never done this before, so this is the first time for me, so we'll figure out this together. So we're going to go into the videos and hyperlapse. Now let's have a look at this. Need to move out the little timer for the screen record. Right, okay, so we can see the intervals. So we'll have it a picture every 2 seconds. The length, obviously we want a decent length video, don't we? So I've got 27 minutes on the battery. So let's do, so it's going to take 16 minutes, 500 pictures to do 16 minutes. Right, okay. To do 16 minutes is going to take basically to do 20-second video. So right, okay, so as you can see on the screen now, so that's what I've done. I've got 20 seconds. It's going to take 16 minutes to do the entire thing. And the speed, we don't really need the speed because it's going to be static. Right, okay, so this should be a static shot. So it should be just staying where it is. I can see it's right there. It's going to stay there and it's going to basically do it. So I'll start it now because obviously we're 26 minutes on battery. It's going to take 16 minutes 38 to do. So as we see there, it's not moving at all. There is a bit of a wind. I think it's about 7 or 8 miles an hour, but it'll easily handle that. I'm going to keep an eye on it. But as you can see on the screen, it's only taken 8 pictures out of 500. And it's got 25 minutes of battery, so it should be able to deal with this. But I didn't want to do something that was 5 seconds long. I wanted to obviously sort of do a decent length video that you can see. But as I say, this is the first ever time that I've done one of these videos. I couldn't do it with the Neo, and this is the first experience. I wanted to see exactly what it'd be like. Obviously at the moment, it's dealing with it very well. Every 2 seconds, it's taking another picture. So hopefully we'll see those cars when it's done it going fast. Obviously I'm not going to talk for the entire 16 minutes. I'll speed that bit up. But yeah, so this is the first time. So as I say, you've got the static, which is this one. It'll just stay in a fixed position. It'll take whatever pictures it needs. Obviously, if you want 20 seconds, it's going to take 500 pictures. So you need to make sure that it's a decent sort of calm day, and you can keep an eye on it. Visual line of sight, which I can, it's right there. But you've also, as I say, you've also got one where if you've say got something central, you can sort of go around it and it'll take pictures. It'll slowly go around and take pictures, so it'll basically look like it's spinning around it. And then you've got an A to B one, so you can have it going from here over to where the road is there, and it'll just go in a set path and just take 2-second pictures as it goes along. And then you've got waypoints. Now with the waypoints, you can have it so it starts here and it may be sort of 2 meters off the ground, say, and then you can have the next waypoint maybe 5 meters above, and then you can have it going closer to the road or your subject or whatever you're going to sort of end on. And you can have it going at different levels, different sort of degrees of gimbal. You can have gimbal rotations and put fancy effects on it, and then obviously you get a great result. But today I just wanted to focus on just one, because obviously the battery life, as I say, I've got 22 minutes left of battery and it's got 14 minutes left, so it gives enough time to do what it needs to do, and I know it's got enough power to come back, and it's not on like 10% battery or anything, so I'm being cautious of the battery level as well. There's people walking around but they're totally oblivious that there's a drone up in the air. It's away from them, it's over the trees, away from the people. But yeah, it was just fascinating to see how this worked out. You can actually do it. I'll just put the controller down a second, just so I can focus on that as well. So on the Neo, you can actually do it, but you need obviously a full battery, and you sort of go up and you can just take pictures every sort of 2 seconds of the area, and then you have to basically export all those images yourself into an editor, and then that'll put them into a sequence and you can export it as an MP4 or a video file of your choice. But the wonders of this, obviously with this drone, it can handle 27-mile-an-hour winds. Obviously today there's a bit of a breeze, it's probably about 5-mile-an-hour winds now. There's not that much of a breeze unless it's the trees that are blocking it. It's handling it, it's staying exactly where it needs to be. Obviously you've got that gimbal that sort of can maneuver around, so if it is bobbing around, the gimbal will stay nice and still. And obviously it does all the work it needs to do inside that drone. So once it's taken those 500 pictures, it will then stick them all together in basically an MP4 format, and then I can export it and I can show you at the end of this video. So that's nice. So we've hit the 11-minute mark, so it's only got 11 more minutes hovering in that air, and we do have 21 minutes worth of battery power left, so it's got enough power to do what it needs to do and come back, rather than being on like 10% or 5% battery. I'll try and bring it back when it's on about 20% maybe. But yeah, it's hovering there. I keep checking the screen every now and then, but I'm more focused on the actual visual line of sight of it. And to me, I can see it moving slightly, but when you look on the screen, obviously it's not, it's static, so it should create a nice fluid hyperlapse. But as I said, this is the first ever time I've done them. Obviously I was with Stephen quite a few months ago, and he did one, and I think his was only about 5 seconds long, and he did it in a similar area, and it was just fascinating to watch. He just took it over, he hit the hyperlapse button like I've just done, and yeah, we just watched it and just stayed where it was. I think there was a bit more of a wind that day, but he didn't have enough battery power. Now the ideal thing with this is, say if for some reason you set it to do 20-second video and it's going to take 16 minutes and your battery is running out and it sort of stops after 10 minutes, it doesn't actually lose the video. What it'll do, or what it did on Stephen's, it basically just takes whatever it's got, so it might only have 250, 300 pictures rather than 500. It'll stick them together as a file and just you can export that, so it'll only be like 5 seconds or 7 seconds rather than 20 seconds. But rather than wasting everything, it sort of saves it, converts it, and then brings the drone back, so you don't lose anything. That's a fantastic thing with this drone. That's the thing, what I think is great about DJI. You're not losing the work you've done. So you might have, as I say with mine, I've got 9 minutes left on here. It's got 18 minutes left on that, but for argument's sake, say there was 9 minutes left of it taking pictures, but only 9 minutes or something battery. It would get to sort of, I don't know, 6 minutes or so. It will then say return to home. It would cancel the hyperlapse, it would convert it into a video file and come down. So it's not a wasted trip. You still got some footage you can use in your video if you need to. But I made sure that I didn't take off until last minute, so I've got as much battery power as I can get. So it's 18 minutes worth of battery, and I've got 8 minutes so far, as you can see on the screen now, and it's still taking pictures. It's got 247 pictures out of 500, so it's halfway there, living on a prayer. So hopefully it won't have any issues. Or I saw a couple of birds going by. I don't know in the actual hyperlapse whether you'll see a picture of the bird. I mean, probably too fast, but there was a bird sort of going past it. It didn't bother with it, it just went slightly underneath it. I mean, at the moment I am 37 meters in the air, and I'm not too sure when it comes to birds. I'm not too sure if they've got a certain area that they stay in. Obviously they don't go too high, so sometimes I think, oh, shall I take my drone to a height that's above where the birds tend to go, or whether they just go up there anyway. But yeah, it's still there. I can still see it. It's a sort of a clear day. I can't turn the camera around because of obviously the sun will be glaring, but it's a blue sky. There is a few clouds dotted around. I mean, I don't know if you can see them in the background. It's pretty much like that over there, so I can see it perfectly. And that's a good thing about the Mini 5 Pro, is the fact that it's in that darker grey. So rather than the Neo, which kind of blended into the clouds, you've got that dark colour that stands right out. So visual line of sight is so much better than it was with the Neo. But now we're on 7 minutes now. So what I'll do is, rather than you having to watch another 7 minutes of me talking, I'll speed it on to when it's finishing up and coming back to home. So here we are at the last 40 seconds. It's still taking pictures. It's got 483 pictures as we speak. So it hasn't got many to take before I can bring it back and give it a rest. But yes, the entire time that I've been watching it, you can see slight movements in it, but when you look at the screen, it just looks solid. So it is fantastic. So here we go, the last 15 seconds coming up. And then what I'll do is I'll bring it back down and I'll do my final bit of camera and show you the footage, the beautiful 20 seconds of fast cars. So here we go, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's taken its 500th picture. Now what it does, as you can see on the screen now, it then puts all of those together, and that's it done. So it's quite quick. Once it's taken all those pictures, it's very quick to just get them all into sequence, convert them into an MP4, and then it's done. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring it back home. So I'm going to do the return to home. Now it should bring itself all the way back. So far only 2 people have seen it. A couple just walked past and must have heard it and could see it flying above them. But apart from that, everybody else was oblivious. There was a few trains. There was a northern train went by and a Grand Central one, but I don't think you'll be able to see it because of the fact that it goes so fast and it's taking a picture every 2 seconds. You might see it very slightly. I'll move out of the way so this can land. But I can see it pretty much spot on when it comes to landing. So there was my first experience of doing a hyperlapse. Now that was just the first one. I thought I would just do one video on each of those particular ones because obviously it does take some time to get the introduction done and obviously get the drone in place where it needs to be. It takes 16 minutes to actually get that done, so I'll try and truncate it down to make it around about 10-minute video. So yeah, I thought I'd just focus on each one so you get to see exactly the process in doing it, getting it over, what settings I used, and then obviously you can see the process of it doing it, and then you'll see in a second the 20-second video of the cars zooming by. So if you look at the screen now, this is the 20-second video. So yeah, this is the A19 and it's going over the Stockton Cut Junction train line as well. and I just positioned it over the trees there, and it's just focused on the road, so you can just see the the cars and the vans, and hopefully you'll see a train going by, but I think the train will be too quick. You'll just see the speedy cars going over. So yeah, I think that's just a fantastic little feature to do if you just want to get the drone up. Obviously you've got visual line of sight at all times. The sky is, as you can see, blue as can be, so you can see that grey in the sky, and you can just get some nice little stuff for social media, or just to put in your YouTube videos if you want. So yeah, so I thought I'd try that. Next time I'm going to try, I'll probably go in the field and I'll do the circular one and see how that works out. And then next video I'll do the A to B path, and then I'll do another video dedicated to the waypoints and that side of hyperlapse as well. But I want to do the train going by. I want to do the waypoints somewhere a bit different, where I've got different features, maybe something a bit different. But yeah, I'll focus on each one separately. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, hit that like button, comment below and let us know how you're getting on. If you've got any hyperlapse videos on your YouTube channel, stick your URL in the comments and I'll love to check it out. And if you haven't hit subscribe, please hit that subscribe. It sort of pushes my videos out there, and obviously gets more people watching, and I can do more videos and I can go better places. When the weather changes, obviously it's pouring with rain every single day, so when I get a chance to get out more in this beautiful sunny weather, I want to go places and do some more cool videos for you cool people. So thank you so much for your support and watching. Wherever you are in the world, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. So happy flying, and bye bye.